Greetings to China Exposed News Talk. I'm James J. Sekino. And here we go. There are the Chinese. They're at something new. But the socialist, communist, Nazi news, everything that is bad from the U.S. and media. These socialist pigs. And now I believe they're also turning into Nazis. Whatever. They're just bad. Okay. Now it's nonstop. There's nothing left. I can remember at least 2 years ago they were trying to do a little bitty truth. There's nothing left now. It's like even the weather. I gotta wonder sometimes about the weather. Is it really gonna rain the next day? Because everything's fake. So the socialist, communist, fake news of the United States, these pigs, okay. They have been putting out, now they're putting out news that the Chinese are developing or are in the process of unveiling their bomber, their stealth bomber. I wonder where they got those plans to make the stealth bomber from. If you've seen the last plane that they built, the stealth fighter, one of the stealth fighter type of deals, like stealth fighter bomber type of deal, okay, it looks like a copy of our plane. That's what it looks like. If it looks like a copy of our stealth fighters. All right. So the stealth bomber, I don't think is going to be that far away. You know, during the Obama administration, it so happened that the Chinese really got a lot of stuff made in China. Made in the a lot of stuff that was made in the U.S., a lot of the weapon systems, ended up in China. Wonder what went wrong there. You know, you got to really start thinking about that one. So much stuff ended up in China. It was like somebody opened up a gate somewhere to our most classified materials and weapons and invited all the stinking Chinese to come and take the stuff. The funny part about it is, and I think we're still doing it, and Donald Trump should do something about it. You know that when we have an arms show, which is even hard for me to get into, just the regular public to get into. It's almost next to impossible for you to get into an arms show with the most latest arm equipment that the U.S. has. The U.S. actually is stupid enough, really stupid enough to allow the stinking Chinese to come in with their cameras and camcorders and everything and take photos and pictures of everything. Last year, I did a story about that. On how the stinking Chinese generals were they're holding our latest weapons in their hands. And we wonder why we have problems. This should be banned. I will not allow them to a hillbilly gun show in the middle of nowhere to attend just with Billy Bob and his girlfriend selling a BB gun. I wouldn't allow the stinking Chinese to attend that. Why in the hell are we allowing generals from China? One of those generals is extremely famous. It goes to all these trade shows, and this is what this guy's what he's doing. He's buying off contractors. We allow him to go in there, play around, talk to all the contractors they want, make the little deals. What the hell? Why are we inviting the enemy to see what we have, and why are we allowing them to handle our equipment? And these trade shows. And these basically arms sale shows that I cannot get in. I wish an American top general would say, James, next trade show, I'm going to invite you. I want you to be there. If a stinking Chinese can be in my trade show, I want Americans to be in my trade show. Regular people who are the taxpayers. Why is Congress now down there? Why is somebody not saying something about that? You know, it's not that they're getting all the stuff on the trade show. Who knows where they're getting this stuff from? But they're making connections. They're making connections with the right people. They need to make connections who are developing the most high techs of weapons in the United States. They're making connections. All right? That's what they do at these trade shows. somebody somehow continues to invite China to allow their military people in uniform to attend these trade shows. I have a video on that. Look for it somewhere. I forgot the name of the title of the video. I have a video on that. And you see the guy holding an actual rifle, an actual gun from one of our latest weapons. And then they wonder, why is China getting so advanced? Boy, how much soy milk are we feeding the people in D.C.? Is it like truckloads, semi-trailers loads, maybe 3 or 4 miles long of convoys injecting soy milk into our Washington, D.C. base? Are they all doing the soy milk? What is this stuff? Your mommy didn't give you the booby? And now you have to do soy? Man, you guys have dropped your you-know-what. And you have traded in for who knows what. Oh, man. What kind of crap is this? China is continuing to develop the most latest systems we have. And if tomorrow morning we say, we have invented an anti-plasma rifle with antimatter capabilities, the U.S. has invented this weapon that could wipe out an entire country end to end in 10 seconds. In 2 days' time, you'll have the stinking Chinese Communist Party. Hello? Knock, knock. Hello? And you'll say, what do you want? We came to tell you that we have invented the multiple cyber weapon having to do with antimatter and all this other crap you guys mentioned. We have invented that one too. Really? How did you invent it? It took us 10 years to develop this weapon. And you guys invented it in 2 days. Oh yes, when you have the right connections, you can do anything. Ha ha! It's basically what you're going to get. You know, I hate to say it, I don't give credit to China for anything. Basically, almost nothing. But I got to give it to them. They're really good when it comes to screwing people in espionage. We have to have the biggest morons in counterintelligence. It's got to be morons. Either they're total morons or they have sold out the United States. If you're in counterintelligence and you're in the U.S., you're doing a super duper miserable jobs of stopping China from getting their hands on our latest technology. A crappy job. A shitty job. Now, there are some really good people in counterintelligence who are going to tell me we have our hands tied, and I will agree with you 101%. There are many in counterintelligence in the U.S. who have their hands tied by people playing political games in their high department, the high heads of the department playing political games. And there's a lot of traders in our contractors. Our contractors, there are tons and tons of traders who will sell their mothers out for $2. And all you need is one stinking Chinese general to tell you, okay, we make connection with you. Tomorrow morning we see you over there at the fast food restaurant, okay? Wink, wink. We bring you big bag with a lot of good stuff, a lot of goodies, a lot of egg rolls. That's basically what they're going to do. And they sell out everything. This is what happens when you have a Justice Department, which is basically falling apart. The top of the FBI, a lot of it corrupt. Who knows how much stuff. And you have secret societies who only get people from who they want. You have a bad if you take what we have in the U.S. right now, you have a bad combination of a lot of things, and this is the results of what we're getting. Where countries with billions of dollars can come in here and take whatever they want. I would think that if Russia were to have the capital, the money that China has, Russia would have taken every single thing from us by now. Problem is they don't have that kind of capital, and they have to watch out what they do. You know. There's not only Russia. There's a lot of countries, we call them allies, who also spy on us and are waiting for us to look to get the right people, you could say, in the right places so they can buy off our technology. There's a lot of those countries around the world. Can't trust nobody nowadays almost. And our stuff just continues to leak out there. And sometimes, don't be surprised if some of our contractors intentionally leak out some of their latest equipment that they just finished, signing off on and saying, okay, look, we just finished. Hey, Bob. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, we just finished this latest weapon system here. Okay, sign off on it. What should we do with it next? Okay, I want you to contact the Chinese or contact anybody you can and tell them it's up for sale. But of course, you got to do this in a secret way. But why are we doing that? We just spent 20 years developing this weapon. Because, man, we have to bring in another project for the company. If not, we're going to have to lay off 50,000 employees because, we're greedy bastards, so we have to put in the billions and billions of dollars in our pockets, but we can't pay the employee salary, which is nowhere near that. Oh, I see now. So the ideal is we make the latest weapon system. That's right. We make the latest weapon system. We take 20 years to develop it, and then we go and right away we give it out to our enemies, whoever they want to buy it, they can buy it. And then we said that we were compromised if somebody sold us out in our company, gave them the stuff. And then we do all that so we can then go yelling and screaming to Congress that we need to make the Mark 5 or the Mark 21 or the Mark 31. We'll just put another number on there and steal another billion and billions of dollars from the regular American taxpayer. Isn't that a beauty scam? That's a beautiful scam. Love it, love it. That's the scam that's working in the United States. Don't be surprised how many contractors intentionally sell out and give out this stuff so they can go yelling and screaming to Congress for more money to make better weapon systems so they can spend the next 10, 15 years paying people in their job line, okay, who only they hire. Because if you come with all your qualifications, you won't get hired. It's only people that belong to the little secret societies that are going to get hired. Nobody else is going to get hired. And the scam will continue. And they will continue to ask for billions of dollars. It never stops. It's the bottomless pit. It's a bottomless pit of a scam that never stops. And here's the funny thing. If we had the latest weapons and they stayed in the U.S. and China could never get their hands on it and Russia could never get their hands on it, it would be beautiful. But what would happen? Tell me. Let's use some common sense business practice here. If we had, let's say, 20 generations over everybody in weapon system and nobody from outside the U.S. could ever get them, why would anybody, any contractor, get any more money to develop any more new weapons? They wouldn't. They wouldn't get one more dime to develop a new weapon, not even a new bullet. But when all your stuff is being leaked out to all these other countries and somebody's always buying and somebody's always taking and something's always being given to another country, somehow they end up in another country, it creates a beautiful situation for contractors to go running to Congress to demand for more money. And the party will continue forever. It's just part of a big old scam. I wish if it's going to be a scam like that, well, why don't you let all the American public into it? Why don't you allow anybody who's an American have a job in your stinking company and make those $45, $80, or $100 an hour freaking jobs, have some of those jobs, who have the qualifications for all that stuff. Putting a screw on a small little device doesn't mean you have to have a Harvard degree. It's just a scam. That's another scam. Hell, a lot of Americans nowadays, they could be working in all these top contractors for the military making big bucks. But no, you have to belong to the secret society. And you're not even going to get a classification if you don't. You're not going to have anything with top secret or any kind of stuff or any kind of clearance at all. And you have to have clearance. That's also part of a scam. That's also part of another scam. At the end, all their stuff is going to end up in China. And a lot of it probably be intentionally given to them so they can go back to Congress. Hey, we need more money. This is Billy Bob here. Well, why are you there, son? Well, Congressman, I would like to ask you for another $20 billion. Well, what happened to the last $1 billion we gave you? Well, the Chinese, they stole our invention, and now they're making it over there, so now we have to make the Type 4. And how much is that going to cost us? $20 billion. Do we have to give it to you now? Yes, give it to me now. Or if not, I'm going to have to lay off 100,000 people. Okay, we'll give it to you. And that's the way the scam works. Anyway, people. I'm just a nutcase out here, I guess. Little old me. I don't know if it makes any sense to any of you guys. Look, man, when you have a high IQ, you have like a good IQ, and it's not that I'm pulling my own chain. You get all doing my own stuff here. I'm just telling you. You notice a lot of stuff that regular people, common people, don't notice. This is what they hate. They hate people with. You see, if you look at the Cambodia, Vietnam, right after they took over, the communists took over. What did they do? They went looking for everybody with the high IQs. All the teachers, all the business people, anybody that had an education, somebody who had intelligence, who had half a brains to know that communism and socialism was a bad idea. And if you look at Cambodia, the killing fields, that actually happened. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people got killed. And most of them were the education, people that were educated, the people that knew something, the people that had the smarts. But here in the U.S. it's different. What they do here is they pretty much pump you up with soy milk. They, so until your balls drop off, and then when your balls drop off, and if you're a woman, you can't have any kids and all this other stuff. Well, they pump you up with all this kind of stuff, and then they make you the size of a freaking bull by feeding you a bunch of all these hamburgers and all this fast food, so you become lazy and fat and ugly. And what they're trying to do to us is killing you softly with this bullshit. Killing you softly with this bullshit. Killing you softly with this bullshit. Killing you softly, killing you softly. You never heard that song? Killing you? Well, I kind of changed the title around. But that's basically what they're doing. They're killing you softly. So, Americans, I think the U.S. has the biggest problem when it comes to heart attacks. And obesity, and high blood pressure, and diseases. Go to another country. I don't know if so many people, I know a lot of Americans don't travel to other countries or sit there long enough in another country to really get the culture. Go travel to most countries around the world. You're not going to see advertisement for pills, and you gotta take this pill that's gonna drop your balls down to your knees, and your tongue will explode in your mouth, and your eyeballs will come out of your head, and your brain will blow up. But this pill will resolve your problem with high blood pressure. You're not going to see those kind of ridiculous commercials being aired in other countries, and you're not going to see the constant commercials having to do with healthcare as we have in the U.S. The U.S. has commercials up the yang-yang when it comes to healthcares and pills and all this other stuff. You won't see that in other countries. You barely ever see that. There's very little commercials having to do with it, just like other type of commercials. Incredible, the amount of stuff. It's because nobody wants to admit it, but we're being killed in the U.S. And then we're being manipulated. Our genes are being manipulated. We're turning men into women and women into dinosaurs. I was seeing a picture that I was shocked to see what I actually seen. It was a woman bodybuilder next to Mr. Universe. I don't know if that was an actual picture or if that was Photoshop, but damn if it was real. Oh man, she looked the size of Godzilla. He looked like some little, maybe it was a Mr. Universe, but it wasn't the size of Godzilla. What the heck are we doing? This is all has to do with the destruction of the human race. When you can't appropriate, you ain't got nobody. And let me tell you, you start making people on test tubes and all this kind of stuff. Eventually, all that's going to backfire on you. That's like inbreeding. This is we're facing multiples and multiple fronts when it comes to the destruction of the United States. It's domestic and it's international. And many different fronts from there. And it's, at the end, if you go and study all these groups who are doing all this stuff, and you go and study that, and you continue to follow the money trail. Follow the money trail. You continue to follow the money trail. You get to a point you find out the whole thing, it's a scam to make money. And the next point you're going to get to is, it's the same people it's the same little group of people doing the same thing throughout the entire world. Are the ones really behind a lot of this stuff. But you know what? The guy with the big aluminum baseball bat with the spikes is going to show up one day, and he's going to start swinging that bat. His name is Jesus, I think. I had last time. Yeah, that's who it is. The wrath of God is going to come down the entire nation, on the entire world. All these people that they had those billions of dollars, that for the most part, none of them can take one dime with them where they're going, are going to regret what they did. You know, look at China. Thousands of people being demolished there in China a year. You know, lying about everything. And then turning countries into liars. Alright? It's evil upon evil upon evil. The world's just turning into one big ball of evil. And it's being perpetrated by evil. And you know why a lot of the evil continues to get more powerful? There are less and less people like me trying to point out evil to you. There's just less and less. And then when people like me get on here, go on YouTube, we point out where the evil is at, who are the evil ones, and who are the ones trying to destroy you. We try to even tell you where's it all coming from and how they're doing it. Let's shadow ban him. Let's destroy his channel. Let's bring it from thousands of subscribers to almost none. Let's go and do this and this until they finally get rid of you. They don't want to know the truth. Evil will continue to breed evil. And what it breeds in the next generation is worse than the first generation. And it just escalates. Evil is self-imploding because it implodes itself as well. So anyway. Hang on a second. Hang on. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Somebody's trying to give me a call. So all y'all have a great one. I think I went off the deep end here today, so I'll see you. Okay. Have a great one. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye now.